Hi, guys. Welcome on in to a very special edition of Bird City Comics Live. Anthony and I are thrilled to say that we have the one and only Greg Horn with us tonight for a live interview. So, wherever you're at, get comfy and make sure that you are participating in the comments.
Absolutely.
Why, babe?
Well, because Greg and I have agreed to each give away a set of these beautiful books tonight. So make sure you're making comments, you're active, and please share out.
Yeah, so we're going to go to our intro. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and there he is, Greg Horn in the house. Hi, Greg. How's it going?
Muted.
There we go.
Now we got you.
Okay.
Now we have you.
Can you hear me now?
We got you.
You're good.
All right.
Welcome on in. We are so happy to have you on tonight. I know we have a lot of people looking forward to hearing from you, so we're just going to kick it off with a couple of little questions and, yeah, take it from there.
All right, cool. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. First thing that Anthony and I want to know, for example, when Anthony came to you with the title to do Punchline #1, what was the process to get this amazing set done the way you did? How'd that start?
Well, once Anthony had contacted me to do this, the first thing is coming up with a good idea. And we had been talking about this meme that's been going around for a couple months now. It's the distracted boyfriend meme. There we go. And I have tried to do this cover several times, and I've always had a roadblock put up. So one time we wanted to do it with, we were going to do it with Emma Frost, Sue Richards, and Franklin.
Right.
But Marvel shot it down. They didn't like the idea of Franklin checking out Emma Frost. So it got canceled. So when Anthony gave me a call about this, I said, oh, this is the perfect opportunity to do it because, these characters are a bit more risque. And, of course, Joker would look because he's a jerk face.
Right.
And, it just seemed like the perfect place to do this particular cover. And then, of course, the third cover is is an idea that I came up with for Harley Quinn 25th anniversary, where you've got Harley blowing you a kiss, and it's got all this money raining down on her.
Right.
And I was thinking, Punchline. It seems like Punchline's trying to take her place. She wants to be the apple of Joker's eye.
Right.
So why not have her literally take her place?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's
I loved it
brilliant.
Because the Harley 25th anniversary is a gorgeous cover, and then you have this character that comes in with the relationship you're talking about. So it does fit in that she's there. In the background, and when we get to showing the image later, I love the Harley face you planted because it's kind of
we'll get to that.
We'll get to there.
We'll get there, but perfect. Okay, so this was already an idea you had on deck, and then you just had the opportunity and you ran with it. So that's very cool. So okay, we did a little bit of research on you. We stalked you a little bit here about prior to becoming Greg Horn. So at what?
Listen, wait. Virtue stalking is the best kind of stalking.
I'm like in my bed, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking up Greg Horn stuff." And
We lay in bed and Google you.
in a non-creepy way.
Right?
When did doing covers become your career rather than a hobby? Like, at what point did you just feel that shift where you knew this was it?
Well, that came in a couple of stages. I've always wanted to draw comic books. Ever since I was 8 years old, I was drawing comic books in school. I was very much inspired by George Perez and John Byrne and all those late 70s, early 80s artists. And my first job I actually got that you could say was a real mainstream job, or not mainstream, but a real paying gig, was when I was 17 years old. I worked for this company called AC Comics, and they were doing this book called Femme Force, and that's kind of what set me on my path of drawing beautiful women. but I didn't really break in at Marvel until about 11 years after that. I'm kind of a late bloomer, but I didn't really make it until I was about 32 years old.
Wow, but you kept at it from 17 to 32. He's like, this is gonna work.
There you go.
I got a good feeling about it. You were 17. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, I was just like, I think I was working at like a frozen yogurt shop when I was 17. Career goals.
Yeah, well, I think it's cool you found what you love so early, because a lot of us it's later in life.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, you know. Luckily, I had my mom was very much an artist herself.
Cool.
And she kept pushing me to to attain my dream. So I really owe a lot to her.
Right on. Good shout out.
You can go ahead with the next one.
Let's see. So Laura thought of this one. So when, what advice would you give your past self from future self?
What advice? Oh my God, that's a hard question.
I knew I was going to get you on this.
Don't go into that bar.
Okay, I know exactly what it is. When I started working in comics at Marvel, when I broke in the mainstream, this is like back in 99, 2000. I had a website, but technology really wasn't where it is now, and we were still in the age of mailing in art to Marvel. They had no FTP. You'd have to send them an invoice for bills and stuff. So it wasn't, you weren't connected by the internet so much. And now that I've got my own online store, I am wishing back then that I had been taking emails down all this time. I would have a massive mailing list right now. And back then I was like, who cares about emails? I'm not going to bother with it. But if I was going to give advice to my older self, I would say, yes, man, put a mailing list on your website and make sure you save all these emails. I'm wishing I had them all now.
There you go. Yeah. I'm
solid advice.
Done that too.
Hold on one second. We're going to pause real quick. Are we getting comments in on our end?
Let's see.
Do you see comments coming through, guys? We're just checking really quickly because this is important. Somebody's going to win a set for commenting, so we have to be able to see all these comments coming through.
Yep, we got hello from Scott Rhodes. Brian said, loving it so far.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, anywho, we'll keep on moving. So there's another little trick question for you here. I mean, obviously, I know what I want your answer to be, but I want an authentic answer on this one.
Okay.
Your favorite character?
Should I be scared?
Yeah, right.
A little bit. What's your favorite character to draw or develop? And it doesn't have to be one that you've, had a cover for. Like, what character is just like, okay, this is the one that speaks to me?
For some reason, Wolverine really speaks to me. You would think it would be a female character.
I got Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen? Yeah,
I could see him doing it. Yeah.
But I don't know. For some reason, I enjoy drawing Wolverine. He was like the coolest character when I was a kid. It went from Wolverine to Deadpool, and now it's Venom. Right. But I was there for the original, man. Venom was the original badass, or Wolverine rather. So yeah, that's a character I love drawing. Now, if we're talking about a character I've never gotten to draw.
Ooh, yeah, let's talk
that. I wouldn't mind doing a
Punchline.
Maybe doing like well, of course, Punchline. But I don't know. I kind of gravitate towards some of the villains like Doctor Doom and Ultron.
Ooh.
That's super dorky, but I don't care.
No, I love that. That's great. That gives us things to look forward to.
You brought up Wolverine, so I have a follow-up question now. What was your favorite Wolverine suit? Because you get the brownish, orangish one. His X-Force black and gray. Everybody hated the yellow with the blue stripes on the ribs, but that was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Is that the one with the jacket?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about the jacket. I would go with the original one, the yellow with the blue stripes.
Yeah, yellow with the blue stripes. Yeah, and then he had the jacket. Yeah, and then what's his current one?
But I liked the helmet that was more of X-Men era rather than the Hulk 181. Where he's got the whiskers and the mask is kind of tiny.
More like a flare out.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that one, but once Dave Cockrum got a hold of it in the Uncanny X-Men, it was looking very cool.
Right on.
Wolverine, huh?
Yeah, Wolverine was
Alright.
one of my favorites as a kid too.
I'm sorry, it's not a very sexy answer.
I know. I mean, I want a sexy one, Greg.
No, that was plenty sexy.
I want
mean,
something really-
you're talking short, stocky, well built, and hairy. It doesn't get any sexier than that,
Oh yeah, Wolverine's sexy to some people.
right? All right,
Okay,
well,
now,
let's,
guys, I wanted to stop you here.
Yeah.
I am getting comments on my page.
Yep.
Are our comments mixing, or am I going to get different comments on my page than you're getting on your page?
We're getting a combination on the main feed that's YouTube versus Facebook. So like Victor, I don't know if this one yours, but Victor just posted the X-Force suit, so that came from somewhere else.
Okay, I'm not seeing that. So we might be getting different comments. I just, I promised to give a free set to my guys also. So
yeah, pick a name on your comment list and you do your thing, buddy.
Okay, yeah, if you can help me figure out how to, well, I'll decide.
Yeah. just
Listen,
whatever
guys,
comment pops out to you, go with that.
Okay, yeah, this is a little complicated because I'm looking at two things, but one of you guys will get a freebie. So just hang in there and I'll make the announcement eventually.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of fans in on our end. They're all just saying that they're huge fans of your work. And
that's
so, yeah.
great.
Yeah, this is Steve here. How would you say the last name there?
Fawcett.
Steve Fawcett.
Yeah.
Huge fan of porn.
Huge fan.
Awesome.
Us too.
Awesome.
So it kind of worked out.
Here's a Bird City Comics member. Beanbag Chair. It's sticking to me. Yep, we know him. All right, so let's keep this thing going. So let's talk about let's build up. Let's get that slow burn. Let's talk about some of your art that led us to what we're doing today.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Greg, which one do you want to kick off? You sent us a bunch of photos of stuff. How do you want this to go?
Okay, well, do you have the actual Punchline cover ready?
Oh,
I forgot to send that one to you, but
no, I got the Punchline art for what we did. You want us to kick that off?
yeah, let's throw those up and then we'll kind of show people how I got to that image.
All right, so let's kick it off with the A and the B cover. Just kind of show us yep, there it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously the A and the B cover are plays off of the distracted boyfriend meme. We already discussed how, I've been trying to do this for quite some time. The funny thing is I don't have a sketch of it, but I actually drew this almost 10 years ago. It was a commission I did for somebody. Maybe if they're on my group, they'll post it. But It was a commission I did, Emma Frost walking towards you, and then none other than the all-American do-gooder, Captain America, taking a peek at her. But there was no other girl. It was just Emma and Captain America. And that's
cool.
That's the original line of thinking. And then, of course, we saw that you wanted to do this Punchline cover, and we said, man, this meme is perfect. Let's do it. So I've switched it up a little bit here. As you can see, Harley is not happy about this situation, and she is not content to just stand there and give Joker a dirty look. Somebody is going to get some payback.
Yeah, that's not her style. She's not subtle, right? I mean, she's like, no.
So just an interesting little aside. The original drawing that I sent to DC actually had Joker looking at Punchline and then shoving Harley off the panel.
Yeah.
And you could see like her legs and her hands, but DC thought that was a little much and asked me if I could streamline it somewhat, and that's how we got the Harley ready to get her revenge here.
So yeah, it wasn't okay that Joker assaulted Harley, but yeah, Harley assaulted Joker with a weapon, no problem.
I think it worked out.
My argument was that they're all psychos, so who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
They're all completely nuts.
I mean, honestly, I told Anthony when we found out that you were going to be adding, the full version of Harley onto this cover, I'm like, that could not have worked out better because look at how well you captured. So now instead of a 2-character cover, we got a 3-character cover, and you nailed the Harley crazy. You
love the rage.
It's rage. That's the best way to describe it. You look at this girl, and she's those
like,
eyes are all
Yes.
right. So and again, it kind of worked out. I kind of feel like I owe DC here now for making you guys rethink that and adding her on there. I think it just turned out even better than what we were expecting her initially. And Joker too, you nailed his facial expression as well.
Yeah, real quick shout out, Mighty Mel V is on. Greg, he's one of our buddies. He does a show called The Drunken Chat. He says, hello, Anthony, Laura, and Mr. Horn.
Hey, Mighty Mel, how you doing? Now,
Good to
does
have
that
you.
mean do you have to be drunk while you're on his
Oh,
Yeah.
page?
and they go
Yeah.
for hours while they drink.
Wow.
It's
Okay,
intense comic book nerdom while you're inebriated.
that's interesting. Okay.
Let us know when you're ready
I'll
for
keep
that.
that in here.
All right, so this
This
is the
cover
A cover.
A,
Yeah.
yeah.
Show me. Let's put up the B cover right now so we can see that cityscape. Yeah, look at that.
Okay,
Ooh.
now the B cover, I knew that we were not going to have a logo at the top, and I was like, well, need to put something back here to make this interesting, because just having them on a white background is a
Right.
little bit stark. So I came up with this background. I mean, it would have been great to put some people in the background, but I ran out of time. What can
You know
I
what
say?
though? When did you come up with the idea to kind of give this the vintage look? Because I dig that on comics when they do the vintage into the art.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I didn't want the background to be too distracting.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you can see it's very faded out. The colors are desaturated. But
Yeah.
I think it makes them pop more.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, they look new on the page, and then you added color or the wear to the corners and stuff, and I thought that was such a smart thing. Like when I got it, I was like, he didn't just do it flat as an image. It adds some depth, and I dig that look anyway. So.
Exactly. Yeah, to add some depth to it, there's some texture on there. The cracked effect in the corners. I like the way it turned out. It's really nice. Also, I don't know if people can see, but a DC comic is a little different from Marvel. Usually Marvel will do a trade cover,
Right.
and then every cover after it is a virgin, no matter how many you do. But with DC, they will do a trade, and then the second one is what they call minimal trade. And you'll notice up in the upper left-hand corner of this cover, it's still got the little DC logo, but it's not very intrusive.
Right.
But I don't know. It's something I like about it. It's a neat look.
You know what I like about it too is that when I buy books, especially ones that I collect, I prefer the trade dress so I know what book it is. But the trade dresses are sometimes a little much. So the minimal trade is a cool option because it'll still tell me what the book is. And it's not just a blank cover of art. Because you get into some of these exclusives. There was a book, the art didn't even match the book, and somehow they got away with it. You flip it over and you're like, that art was on this title. Yeah, but I like to know what I have. What is this?
Hold on, real quick. Go back up a second. Somebody had a question. I think it's a good one. Go down to, it was Locksmith. I was asking for you to explain the difference between your two signature styles and why you use the shorter one. It was up there a second ago.
What a way to
Let me see. Hold on.
Right there.
There you go.
It was up a ways. There you go.
So you were telling me about this, about how you sign your name.
Okay, yeah. Okay, when I first started at Marvel, I would sign my name. I'm going to do it backwards here. G Horn. And I signed that way for many years, maybe all the way to from 2000 to 2008, 2009. But around that time, I started going to conventions, and I was like one of the very first artists to sell at conventions the way you see now, where it's you're selling all your artwork behind you, and you're really what's the word? You're really going back and forth with the crowd.
Yeah, you're mixing it in and talking it up and
right, exactly. You're like a carnival
over
barker
for the selfies and all that good stuff.
So back in 2012, I was like the only person doing this, and I started getting these massive crowds at my table. We were literally selling over people's heads to people in the third row. They would say, "Hey, Greg, I want this, this, this."
Like Wall Street stock trading.
Yeah, it was insane. It was totally insane. And it got so crazy that I ended up having to shorten my signature, and I started signing GH, which may sound lame, but I did it in a very artistic style. It's a nice little squiggly G, and it's you can actually see it right there in the right corner on your graphic there. So it's a very nice signature, and I did that for speed's sake because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get to everybody at these shows. So fast forward about 10 years. It's 2018, and this guy comes up to me at San Diego, and he says, "Hey, Greg, would you mind signing your full name on a book?" And I had known him for years. So I said, "Okay, no problem." So next thing I know, he's pulled out 10 books, and they're all Edge of Venomverse. It's a very hot book. So I said, "All right, man, whatever, I'll do it." So I signed my full signature on every book. the next day, my friends are all like, "Hey, man, remember that book you signed? It's up on eBay. It's selling for $250 more than your normal signature." And I'm like, "Whoa, okay." So they were all kind of mad, and I was like, "Well, actually, this guy has he's discovered an interesting
Collector's market.
Yeah, an interesting market that people are reacting to." So right then and there, I stopped doing that signature at shows, and I've turned it into like a store special.
Sure, cool.
So this, I'll do the full signature, but I only do the full signature if it's a remark that I drew on a comic book, or if I draw let's say I draw a really nice sketch on a blank variant, I'll give that the full signature, and then sometimes we'll do limited variations, but it's still not something that I'm doing at shows. And of course, I'm not doing it at any shows right now because there are none. But anyway, that's how we came up with 2 signatures. There is my standard GH, which I've been doing for about 12 years, so it's totally legit. And then there is the full signature, which I will do, like I said, on a limited basis.
How interesting how that happens.
Yeah, it's super cool.
That's very cool.
Hey, so when you sign mine, I'm going to need your first, middle, last,
Date of birth.
and then a thumbprint.
Ooh, thumbprint.
Special edition.
And a strand of hair. Pluck it out and
then
tape it.
piece of tape, strand of hair.
Perfect.
I need to talk to you guys more. That's a great idea. It's the thumbprint signature.
Dude, you could fly through signatures. You putting on people's faces. On the forehead, sir. Gotcha.
Don't say that. You're going to get somebody pissed off.
All right. Well, our man Collins appreciates the explanation. That was really cool. So let's move on. You ready to reveal the big one, and then we'll give the history of how we got here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. Let's get up that cover C. Woo! There she is.
Okay, so that is going to be our 3rd cover, and a lot of the people that are on my page right now, they will recognize this this concept as a painting I have done before. The original painting was that had this money idea was actually from 2004, and it's Emma Frost 12. If you want to throw it up on there real quick, we can kind of show people how it got started. So that's the original
the money ring,
concept of this painting. And as you can see, Marvel kind of asked me to not go. Uh-oh, my battery is dying. Hold on a second, guys.
Get a charger. We'll wait. You're good. We're going to stare at this for a second. That's
Well,
interesting.
actually, you know, I can talk while I'm finding my charger.
Yeah.
I got my earbuds on. So anyway, Marvel did not want me to go too sexy with that particular painting because the Emma Frost storyline is actually was actually about her teenage years. Believe it or not.
That makes sense because I mean, a lot of people could get angry about that if it was too sexy for her age, and
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was kind of strange because when they first asked me to do the Emma Frost covers, they didn't tell me what the story was going to be about, and they pretty much just said, "Hey, Greg, just draw, the sexiest Emma Frost you can come up with." And I actually did 6 covers in advance, and they are rather sexy. And then the storyline came out, and it's all about her teenage years, and everybody's writing me emails like, "Hey, Greg, what's up with these covers, man?"
Damn, they set you up for failure on that one.
That's what I felt like.
Jeez.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna need one more wire to pull this off. Give me a sec.
Nah, you're good, my man. I just saw one of the good comments of the night. What is up with Greg's background? I'm gonna table that one and we'll get to it because we asked the same thing.
George, we literally before we went live, I was like, so Greg, you want to explain this to me? And
Yeah.
it's worth the explanation. So when
Yeah.
he sits back down, we'll go over his background.
I'm wondering how many hours that took.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Her outfit, I mean, her face is gorgeous, and it's such a perfect set with that Harley book.
Oh yeah.
Mark is laughing at me right now because I'm running through the house looking for an extension cord. He thinks this is hysterical.
Hey, didn't Mark know that this was his deal? He needed to be on this. Make sure Greg's devices are charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we
exactly.
learn yesterday? Let's chalk this one as marks. I got you on this one, Greg.
Yeah, well, I that's the good thing about having a right-hand man. You can blame them for everything.
That's what I do. I think Tim's in here somewhere making comments.
I know Tim's probably watching. I love the dollar bills, how it has the Harley face on one of the bills. It's just one of those little Easter eggs. You stare at these bills and you're like, oh, wow, every single one of these have so much detail to them. It's such a nice cover.
Yeah, so look at this is Steve Fawcett. He has said, wait, did I just miss the wrong one? No. Oh, yeah, that explains the issue cover. Steve Fawcett's comment here, looks like Joker and Harley are on the money.
They are.
Okay, now wait a minute. Are you guys on my screen? I'm seeing Emma Frost. Is that
there? We go.
Okay,
now we got it.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, I'll tell you what. Before we show this cover, let's show what happened next.
Yeah,
so the next one, if Brian could put it up, it's the one where she has the tattoos on her legs.
So the Daddy's Little Monster.
Daddy, yeah.
Ooh.
No, yeah, that one right there. Okay, so fast forward maybe 10 or 11 years. I decided to do a Harley Quinn just for fun. So I said, hey, you know what would be cool? I'll use this money raining down idea, and I'll just put Daddy's Little Monster in there. So that's how this came to be. Now, the only problem with this, as far as being a cover, is DC does not use the movie likenesses or anything having to do with the movie in the comic books. So they would never allow the tattoos, and I don't think they would allow Daddy's Little Monster. I don't think I've ever seen that on a comic book cover. Have you guys?
No, not on the print. They've done the shirt, but not that low cut. But
okay, so this particular iteration has never been published. But if you go to the next one, Harley 25th A cover. So what happened here was Comic Exposure called me up and they said, hey, Greg, we would like to do a Harley Quinn 25th cover based on your Blood Money cover. And that's where we got this. We've got Harley Jester. And then there's a B cover after this. And this one's going to be like the modern costume. So that was her costume at the time. And then the C cover was kind of just something that I made up out of the blue. And those were the three covers for Harley 25th. And then, so at this point, I'm kind of getting a little sick of this painting. I'm like, okay, guys, we have done this one to death. But they called me up like a year later, and we were doing a Batman Who Laughs cover. So bring up the D cover, the Batman Who Laughs D. So they convinced me to reprise this one more time. So it's the same exact image, just darker. And if you look very close at the $20 bill, instead of Andrew Jackson, it has Batman Who Laughs.
That's cool.
On the $20 bill. I just thought that was so awesome. Isn't that great?
That is fantastic.
Okay, so then after this one, I said, okay, never again. I'm not doing this cover ever again. And then they called me up like 6 months later, and we're doing this book called Deceased. And they said, hey, you know what? This would be really easy, Greg. you just take the comic book version, do a close-up, and make her face look crazy. And I was like, okay, I gotta admit, that's easy and it sounds cool. So here we go. This is the Deceased version of Blood Money.
Yep.
Blood splatters.
Anthony, you know what I said after this?
No more.
No more. Never again. Until you called me.
Yep.
And
you
here
told
we
me.
are. But here's the thing. It's not Harley anymore. It's Punchline.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like
again.
I feel like I didn't do Harley again, at least.
Right. Yeah. So it was really cool because when you told me about it, that's one of my favorite covers is all those homages. Can you tell me? And it's probably hard to see how you signed this particular cover there, Greg.
Oh, okay. I don't know how people are gonna feel about this. I don't think this has ever been done before. And on my page, I've done a few things that sometimes will get people a little perturbed. Like for instance, with that full signature thing, when I announced that I wouldn't do them at shows anymore, this one guy got really mad about it. But I think it was because he had promised a bunch of people that he was going to get the full signature at the next show I was going to appear at. So maybe that was it. But anyway, on this cover, since I have homaged myself, I have signed it Greg Horn after Greg Horn.
That's so great.
So I don't know. Some people might think that's a dick move, but
it's if they have to know you though, because that's freaking hilarious.
It's fantastic.
I couldn't help myself.
Dude, I know you were giggling your ass off while you were doing that.
He probably was,
right? I was.
Yeah, so that makes it okay. I love it. Let's see. What is this one here?
All right. So, do you want to give away a set to our group first, or do you want Greg to pick one?
Well, yeah. Greg, what we're gonna do is you're gonna give a set away to and somebody asked where you could pick up the books, guys. So, Greg, what did we decide on? When are we going live with this?
We're gonna go live on Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up, October 6th. It will be 2 p.m. my time, or 11 a.m. your time.
Absolutely. I got a little countdown timer right there, guys, so you know you can't jump the gun.
And I am going to guess that tomorrow or Monday we're going to give out pricing.
Yep.
The nice thing about this book, as we discussed, is DC has it at a lower retail price than Amazing Spider-Man, which I just did. So so that will be reflected in the pricing, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can go to birdcitycomics.com or greghornart.com. Tuesday they will be live at our respective times, and then you guys can have at it. So in the main feed that I have here off to my side, Greg, it looks like it's a mixture of people. I'm gonna give my set away to one of these people, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scroll through the comments. When you say stop, the comment that I end on, that's who's gonna win this book from us.
Ooh.
I know you have a side comment from your people, and you can choose your person and just announce the name. But,
okay, and yeah, if you and you'll give the name right here on the.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll highlight it.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
All right, so I'm gonna start scrolling. You tell me when to stop.
Oh, I can't watch.
Stop.
Joshua Williams. So this is tiny.
And look at the comment. It's Punchline giving a middle finger. That's the winning comment.
That is a great comment. No, she's blowing you kisses.
Kisses.
Congratulations, Tiny. That's awesome.
So, yep, that's going to be our winner. He's going to get a set. Great job.
Congratulations, Joshua. Sweet.
Yes, very cool.
All right. And then if you want to announce your winner, you're going to pick a comment on your side, right?
Right. Should I do it the same way?
It's up to you. Unless you had a favorite comment in there you like to do, we just keep it random on our side.
Okay, I prefer to do it random. I don't want to pick favorites here. So
yeah.
All right.
How about I scroll through this and then you guys say when?
You got it, Laura?
I'll say when.
Okay, I'm going.
Okay, when?
Daniel Erickson. Yay! You won a free set, my friend.
Congratulations,
and
Daniel.
His comment is, are the winners going to be chosen with fireworks? We all know Greg loves fireworks.
Oh,
how
geez.
perfect is that comment? Because he won.
Yeah, and the
reason he says that is sometimes I will do raffles and I will determine the raffle winner in I will try to do this. I don't do it every time, but I will determine the raffle winner in an exciting way. And one time I strapped a packet of names to an actual firework that shoots up in the air and explodes.
Yeah.
And then all the names rained down. Whichever name I found first was the person that.
And you did find a name. It wasn't all just ash.
The first time I did not find a name, and we had to go to Plan B. And then the second time I did find a name. It fell in my backyard. That's
awesome. Wait, do you have neighbors?
I have neighbors.
Do you?
I do have neighbors, but they're kind of far away. They don't bother.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, you're shooting up, and the guy peeks his head over the fence like Mr. Wilson, like, shooting out fireworks again there, Mr. Greg.
Yeah, no, my neighbors are cool. They expect noise.
We have to ask you, because people were asking, what's going on with that background there?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a wall in my office. And I have a friend who works for Disney. Here, let me show you the whole thing. Okay, so there's the United States.
Oh my god.
That's super cool.
And then there's Captain Jack on a boat.
Love it.
And there's the shark that Captain Jack has to beat. This is kind of like a life metaphor here, but I don't want to get too much into it.
Well, yeah.
And then this
cool.
is Europe. We've even got a little bit of the Middle East over here. But anyway, I just did this because I really enjoy geography and world history. And my friend Deborah, she promised to help me do this. She works at Disney making things out of, like, you know, when you go to the Tiki Hut at Disney World and they've got like those totem poles made, she makes that kind of stuff.
That's cool. It's like that foam that they spray and mold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And man,
I have a
she
cousin that works at Disney too, and yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
really
everybody's
good.
saying I should use your background for our show.
Yeah, they want us. We need
background.
a high res definition or high res picture so we can use it in our green screen.
But guess where we're at?
We're at Greg's house.
We're at Greg's house.
All right. Well, I think that was it. Unless you have anything else you want to go over, Greg.
No, I think that's about it. I mean, we're gonna do this pre-sale on Tuesday, like we said. I know that we were both planning to offer some CGC versions of this.
Absolutely.
So that's something we can talk about in the next couple of days. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I can think of for now.
Beautiful.
You guys have another interview on Monday?
We're going to do this one more time on Monday with the flip side, just the day before we go live to keep you guys all pumped and enthused about actually being able to get these in your hands.
Oh, we're pumped.
So yeah,
maybe we'll be able to make some announcements on that day.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we're the day before. If we don't know what we're doing by then we're in trouble.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, everybody that came out to watch the interview. We appreciate the love and support. And thank you again to Greg for coming on. We were just thrilled. Greg horned all over this, and it's fantastic. Let's term it.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Laura.
Bye.
No
Have
problem.
a good night.
Hang on, Greg. Let's do the outro, and we'll be right back with you.
Okay. The outro.